I'm gonna stop it right there. You know, I go through this every week. Go through this every week. I have to start off with a song, and you know I love music, so I get caught up in the music, and I think I finally found a Dr. Kim song. I think I finally got a Dr. Kim song. Did you all like that? If you missed it on the replay, let me know. If you missed it live, let me know if you like that, because I'm trying to find some Dr. Kim music so they stop kicking me off here with these copyrights. That just irks my soul. That irks my soul. So good evening. Good evening. It's Friday night. It's Friday night. Friday night with Dr. Kim, back this week. And I'm actually live tonight, right? So I kind of fooled you all the last 2 weeks, and that I was coming in, I was pre-recording and uploading the show on Friday night, so you wouldn't miss me on Friday nights. But I'm here live in the flesh to talk about purpose partners tonight. Oh gosh, hot topic, buzzword. And if you know anything about me, you know I hate buzzwords. Buzzwords being those words that you just see people use all the time and really don't even have a clue as to what it means. But I heard it somewhere, and so now that's the thing to say. So I want to unpack that tonight. What is a purpose partner? How do you find your purpose partner? In the conclusion, how do you become a purpose partner? Right? You know, I'm big on that. And so I don't want to give away my clothes before I get started. So um, share this link. Let's get some folks in here. This is for all ages. Okay, so 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. Hey, as long as you have breath in your body, you still have purpose, and therefore you need a purpose partner if you still desire to be booed up. I have friends and family members who are in their 80s, and guess what? They still want to be booed up. So this is for you as well. Don't think because there's some snow on the roof that there's no fire in the oven. Okay? Everybody wants and needs love, and we want to do it right. So that's why we come here together on Friday nights to hang out with yours truly, Dr. Kim, the relationship renovator. You know what my goal is. What is it? I want you to get the love you want so you can keep the love you need. Absolutely. That's what we're here to do every week, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. Try to get the love first. And some of us are booed up and still don't have the love. Ooh, did I say that out loud? I did. Let me try it again. Say it a little slower and louder for the people in the back. How about there are some of you who are in relationships right now and still not getting the love you want? So that's why we come here, so you can analyze where you are, who you're with, how to make it better. I'm never a proponent for saying, turn in the model you have for a new one, because it's not a whole lot of inventory out here. Let me say that, quality inventory. There's a whole lot of folks, but not a lot of quality inventory. So if you have a basic good person, listen in and see what you can glean from this that may help you fine tune that relationship and get out of it what you need. Invite a friend. Oh, I'm saying invite a friend. Yeah, invite a friend. Okay. All right. So let me get into it. You know, as you're inviting people in, you know, you can find us here, like I said, on YouTube, the YouTube channel, Dr. Kim, the Relationship Renovator. You can also find me on the Complete Suite LLC on Facebook, where you can inbox me to book an appointment for life coaching or relationship coaching. So I don't give you the answers, but I help you arrive at the answers that are going to what? Help you get the best out of your relationship. You can also find me on the gram, as they call it, Dr. Kim Complete Suite. We're there. Okay, enough of the PSAs. Let's go. So a purpose partner, if you listen to a lot of podcasts like I do, you've heard this word a lot across the internet. Oh, I want to find my purpose partner. I'm waiting for my purpose partner. Oh, he's great. She's great, but they're not my purpose partner. Well, what the heck is a purpose partner? So, the last 20 or 30 years, people have been looking for a soulmate. Remember that? I just need to find my soulmate. Oh, he's my soulmate. She's my soulmate. You're like, what the heck is a soulmate? And people define that so many different ways, right? Oh, it's that person that you feel like you're finding the other half of yourself. That's a little scary because if I'm finding the other half of myself, that would preclude that I'm not whole. And then if I'm not whole, I'm not good for anybody, right? So then there are some people who are in the school of thought that a soulmate means there's one person in the universe that's meant for you. One person, that one piece to the puzzle, that one yin to your yang. And so until you find that person, you've not found your soulmate. So something to think about that. So we've heard that, like I said, a lot over the last 20, 30 years. And so now we've seen this evolution from soulmate to power couple. And I know you heard a lot of that, right? Especially from all the high value men and quality boss chicks and all of this. Everybody wants to be part of a power couple. Well, what does that look like? Well, slightly better than a soulmate in that, at least with building a power couple, both of these individuals have thought about what the benefit the other one would be in their life. So it's like, wow, we got together, we could do this, we could do this, we could do this. Here's what's problematic about the power couple concept. It totally leaves the social and the emotional off the table. What does that mean? So it's strictly purpose driven, right? It's strictly goal oriented. So if we get together and we partner our resources, we partner our talents, and we pull them together, we can achieve this particular set of goals, which usually centers around finances, right? Usually, we could be balling out. I should, yeah. So it's goal oriented, and so we think about couples that we see in social media, on TV, those that have celebrity status, those power couples. It's quite a few zeros, right? Related to their brand. And even those power couples that we may know on the ground in our real lives, folks in our family, on the block, at your church, still a lot of the focus is on what they've achieved and what they have acquired. So what makes them a power couple? Oh, she drives a Benz, he drives a BMW. Oh, he's a CEO over here, she's a COO. Or they could be entrepreneurs, right? So they've branded themselves and they've created an empire. But at the end of the day, all of those descriptions are what? Linked to what they have acquired, what they have built up monetarily, financially, or like I said, in comparison to others. So I kind of like this shift to the purpose partner. Say hello to me so I know who's in here. I see the chat filling up. Good evening. Say hi. Announce yourself so I know who I'm talking to. And share this link. Like and share, because this is the conversation a lot of people need to be a part of. Okay. So if we're gonna hang out on a Friday night, I'm not trying to hang out by myself. Okay. Tonight we have, because I always let you know what's in my glass. My detox is over. So tonight I have a nice black, right? Stella Rosa black. Thought I'd go a little dark, match my dress. So that's the beverage of choice for tonight. So I kind of like this evolution from soulmate to power couple to purpose partner, because the purpose partner concept is a little bit more holistic, meaning that you really have to take into consideration all aspects of this human that you're trying to align with or join your life with. So not only could we be a power couple, meaning that we could achieve great things together, we could make a name for ourselves, we could brand ourselves out, but there's other qualities that a purpose partner is going to bring to the equation that's going to bring more fulfillment, and I'll get into that. So I don't want to get ahead of myself. They're still not talking to me in the chat. Isn't that something? Who just walks in your house and doesn't speak? The people in my chat. That's okay. They'll say something in a minute. Okay, it's time to go to the notes. I got to put my glasses on. You all know how this goes. Okay. So what is a purpose partner? I'm so glad you asked. What is a purpose partner? A purpose partner is what? A person that you partner with to fulfill your purpose. It's kind of self-explanatory. So the purpose partner, it has some faith-based and religious connotations. The name, as it likes it connotes, suggests a relationship that fulfills and satisfies. Oh, I like that, satisfaction. And satisfies beyond the surface attraction of just the physical. Okay, or those basic levels of compatibility. And if you go back a few episodes, I spent a whole night talking about the difference between compatibility and suitability. There's a lot of people that you may be compatible with. You can chill and hang out. They may not be suitable to be a partner. And I'm gonna get into that again tonight. A purpose partner would be considered somebody who's suitable. And they're a more suitable partner because of another concept that goes into being, selecting, or being in a relationship with a purpose partner is alignment. Alignment. You're suitable, or that purpose partner is suitable because you're headed in the same direction. And because you're headed in the same direction, you can propel movement for each other, right? So you're not going to be stagnant. You're not going to be stuck. This purpose partner is going to help you get from point A when you meet them to point B or C or D or whatever it is your goals are. And it's going to happen without hesitation or pause. Think about will alignment. Here's my teachable moment. Good evening again. I see some folks just coming in. Welcome. You know this is Friday night with Dr. Kim. I already got started without you. So come on, pull up a chair. Let's go. So when you think about alignment, and I was like, how can I explain this? Because again, that's another word that we hear a lot, right? When we're talking about good relationships. Oh, I want somebody who I'm aligned with. I just need alignment. So I said, think about will alignment for your vehicle. Wheel alignment for your vehicle. And I just got Nefertiti's wheels aligned not too long ago. So this is fresh in my mind. Nefertiti is my car, by the way, the Black Queen. So when you're getting your wheels aligned, I mean, why do you need to do that? Right? A lot of women especially feel like it's just something else for the mechanics to charge me for. It's because they know I'm here without a man. They know I don't know any better. But honestly, you need to get your wheels aligned because it has some benefits. It has some benefits. Number one, you're going to not wear out the treads on your tires as fast if they're aligned. Because what? They're going to be moving in the same direction. They're going to be in a particular groove. And because of that pattern, right, that smooth pattern of alignment, you're going to have greater fuel efficiency. Your gas is going to go further. Definitely going to have a smoother ride. You're going to have a safer ride because you can brake better, right? Your car is going to respond. The brakes are going to respond better when your wheels are aligned. So better braking protects the wear and the tear on the tires, as well as your suspension, so how it rides. Do you see how important that is for your car? And so no less important for us in relationships. Why wouldn't you want to be with someone you're aligned with, right? Greater fuel efficiency. You can get where you're going a little bit faster, maybe not working quite as hard, right? Working smart instead, a smoother ride. Because this is my purpose partner. They have a purpose. I have a purpose. They're probably going to overlap or intersect in some way, which I'm going to talk about a little bit more. So that ride is going to be smoother instead of me trying to explain to somebody what I'm trying to do with my life. And I've had that happen. I've had that happen, gosh, over these last 12 years. I told you that I've been out here in these dating streets. Oh my gosh. I've had so many people who don't get it, don't get me. Once I figured out what my purpose was. So, for example, this podcast, a lot of people do not get, I almost said a lot of people, but quite a few of the men I've met, they don't understand it. So you just get on YouTube or you get on Facebook on Friday nights and you talk to people about relationships. Well, how much do you charge them for that? Nothing. It's free. Well, that don't make any sense. Well, if it's free, then why don't you just not do it tonight and we can go out? Nope, because it's part of my purpose. How do I know it's part of my purpose? One of the indicators that you're walking in your purpose is there's an ease of delivery. I don't really have to give this much thought. God deposits a message every week and he lets me know what it is I need to talk about. So he'll either send a little angel, a little birdie. I'll start hearing some of the same messages or topics come up over the course of a week. It could be that I'll have a block of clients that they're talking about some of the same things, but I don't ever have to stress about what to talk about on a Friday night because I know, guess what? I'm writing out my purpose. This is what I was made for. I was made for this. This is my jam. This is what I do. So same thing with aligning with a purpose partner. There's going to be an ease in that. And I said, I'm getting ahead of myself. This excites me. I couldn't wait to get here tonight to talk about this because it's just right there. So that alignment protects the wear and tear on your tires. When you get with the purpose partner you're supposed to be with, oh my gosh, what a load that lifts off of you. Because again, you're not fighting against this person. Like I'm telling you, these people I've met, what you doing that for? Why can't you come out? Same thing when I'm teaching Bible study on Wednesday nights. Well, I want to go here, I want to go there. Sorry, I go to Bible study. Not only do I attend, but I sometimes teach. They were like, every Wednesday? Yeah, that's what I do. That's part of how I'm wired. That's part of what empowers me to do the other stuff that I do. Could not find folks that understood that. So just by me knowing, it saved me a lot of trouble in vetting people because I knew where I was. I knew, like I said, what my deal was. So it was easy for me to say no before a lot of feelings and time are invested. Okay. So alignment. This is kind of different thinking for women. This is kind of different thinking for women who are in the relationship market, right? Meaning you're still looking for your person. Because previously, I'll say in generations past, suitability for a woman who was choosing, it was really based on the man's ability, to provide for you, not necessarily to establish with you. Now, that's a generalization. Definitely, I know some couples who have been together for quite a while who were suitable and they actually have established quite a bit together. But I would venture to say if you asked them initially when they were choosing each other, most of them were not saying, wow, we can see our, billboard up in the sky, what we're going to do, what we're going to be able to achieve if we work together. That woman was like, wow, I know I can trust him and I know he'll take care of me. I feel a sense of safety, a sense of security. And the man was saying, well, I think she's a suitable partner because she'll be able to support me in the direction that I'm going with my career. So we're going to have kids. I know this woman is going to be a really good mother. I know she's going to be able to take care of the house. She cares and she's going to take care of me. She's the wind beneath my wings. Right. And so we're going to succeed. Right. But each of us has a role in what that success or how that success plays out. But now, as women have begun to look at marriage as a part of their life, and not the ultimate destination, which I'm so glad that we're changing that mindset. Women are vetting differently too. Yeah. So it used to be that that was the goal, just to get the man, right? Go get you a man. And you know, in the Black community, that is probably the biggest insult that a woman can give another woman is, girl, she can't even keep a man. Or you shut up talking to me, Miss, I can't keep a man. Woo! So that's what I'm here for. That's my biggest accomplishment is to get a man and keep him. And so even though that's my slogan for the show, that's not the only thing I want you to do. Okay, that's not the only thing I want. Obviously, I want you want to boo, I want you to be booed up. I want you to be booed up and happy. Let's do it right. I also want you to live a full, fulfilled life. Okay, so as women have changed their perspective, and some men too, who are saying, hey, Sherry Berry, as men have kind of changed too, I don't necessarily just want a woman that I'm gonna take care of. I want a partner. So they're looking for an egalitarian marriage, meaning that both parties are looking for mutual benefits, right? That we're saying how we can be better together than apart. And so how are we going to mutually benefit from this relationship and have complementary roles? So meaning there's not just one person who cooks. Hey, we take turns cooking. We take turns taking care of the children. Hey, the wife may be the one who takes care of the bills and the husband may be the one that takes care of the garden. So the gender roles are not as important in some marriages as they once were. And I say that because I was on a panel last night. Shout out to Maurice and Gary, and they changed the name of their podcast, LVGS 360. That's their podcast. So shout out to them. They had me on their show last night, slightly younger crowd. And I was surprised to hear the guys on there say that, hey, Sharon, how are you? We got Wisconsin in here. Come on. And the younger guys, watch this. These guys were late 30s, early 40s, who were saying that, you know what? If I could find a woman that wouldn't mind me taking care of her, I would prefer that. Hold the phone, shut the front door. I couldn't believe it. I was like, young guys talking like this? They were like, yeah. I could find a woman who was down for me. She believed in me. She know I got her. I would love for her to just stay home, take care of us, take care of the homestead, obviously adding critters to the mix. And then I got us on everything else. But they were like, it's hard because it's a lot of women who are like, no, I got my own thing and I don't trust you enough to let my thing go. I wanted to say, I wish I had found you about 30 years ago. You wouldn't have had to tell me twice. Did you see some of it yesterday? I really enjoyed them. I was a little scared. They had their little interesting cigarettes and everything. I was like, oh boy. But it was a really good conversation. And like I said, it was eye-opening for me because typically we've heard older men think that way, right? Very traditional thinking, right? That you're married now. Oh, I would smudge myself. That, yeah, they really would not tell me twice. I'd be like, baby, you want Pine Sol or Fabuloso? What's your pleasure? Okay, forget Mr. Clean. Okay. But I was surprised to hear men slightly younger say that, you know what, I can do the provider thing. If she's rocking, I'm rolling, we can do this together. Girl, I certainly was. Okay. So yeah. So knowing that, but again, that's purpose. That's knowing purpose. Those fellas were like, look, because of the way I'm set up, I need somebody who's going to be able to handle that. They don't have to go out in this mean, cruel world and deal with this. I got us. You got that. They know who they are. And one of the guys was saying this, and he said he would have a really hard time. He would have a really hard time with a woman who was trying to, like I said, not stay equal. I can't remember how he put it, but grinding as hard as him. He wants the feminine. And to him, he sees a woman out here grinding is very masculine. And he was like, that's going to take away from my masculinity. Something else he shared was it would be difficult for him to function with a woman who made more than him. Now, we could give a lot of pushback. And like I said, I don't want to get off track because that's a whole nother show for another day. Hey, Dr. Liz, good evening. It's good to see you, sweetheart. I need to see your face in person. Yeah, we need to catch up. Some probably 1 o'clock in the morning when I'm not running around like a nut. But I gave him credit for this. He knows himself. And that's the center of this conversation tonight. You got to know yourself. You got to know your deal. And I'm saying this, watch this. I think we have rehearsed so many answers about relationships because there's so much information that's accessible to us. Internet, social media, people standing on the corner, whatever. Everybody wants to talk about relationships, okay? And so in listening to a lot of this content, many people have just picked up the vernacular of the day. And it's like, oh, that's what you're supposed to say. That's what women want. That's what men want. So I'm answering questions in this way so I can get a person. And then when you get that person and you start walking in your truth, that person is like, who the hell is this? This is not what I signed up for because you gave the right answers. And I'm going to give you an example after I come out of the chat. Wow, I wonder would the men be comfortable of the women shopping as she does working? Say more, Sharon. What are you saying? Would they mind a woman shopping? I guess, like I said, as long as there's some parameters. But I think that's any couple, right? If everything is covered, if we got everything covered in here, whoever's bringing in the money, and there's some disposable income, have at it. As long as you're not upsetting the status quo of this household. And I'm saying within reason, of course. So no, I wouldn't say to anybody, go out and just buy a car on your own and not say anything to your spouse, whether that's paying cash for it or going into installments. Even if you said, well, it ain't hurt nothing. We haven't missed a beat. That's a pretty major purchase. But other than that, I want to hit the mall or something. Everything's paid. We got savings put up. We're good. Yeah. I don't think that should be a problem. Again, as long as you're not taking us off of our square, taking us off the trajectory that we have agreed on. But again, that's something that's just being honest. Those are real conversations. Were you all listening last week? Go back and watch last week because that's one of the hard conversations I was saying people need to have. How do you feel about money? Some people don't think money is to be spent. Some people think money is to only be saved. And then you have others who think, look, I can't take it with me, so I might as well spend it. And then there's some people who are in the beginning. The motherfucking love doctor that came in here. What's up, Daniel? My woman makes more than me. And yes, in the beginning, I was very uncomfortable. But because of her behavior, I'm very comfortable that she makes more than me because she still treats me like the man. Boom. And you know why she's able to do that? Because she knows who she is. She's not defined by that money. Money is what she does. It's the same thing I've been saying for years. Yeah, I'm Dr. Kim when I show up here, when I show up at work. I've been a professor almost 20 years. When I show up in those spaces, yeah, I'm that girl. When I come home, I'm just bae. I'm boo. I'm baby doll. Whatever he calls me, right? That's who I am when I'm home. So whether I'm bringing in more than you, the same as you, less than you, I'm going to defer to my guy. I'm going to defer to my man. That does not define Kim. That's what Kim does to take care of things. And so a woman that's grown and understands a title doesn't make you who you are. Your salary doesn't make you who you are, right? It's those intangibles, your character, your personality. I'm talking about the men that want the women to stay at home. What about it, Sharon? Help me. That they want the women to stay at home. Do they still want her to be shopping? I don't understand what you're saying. Make it plain for me, sugar. I'm trying to make sense out of it. Okay. So goodness of fit is the goal. Goodness of fit. Where is Jackie King? She's supposed to be in here taking notes. But anyway, goodness of fit. You usually hear that term in social work, in child psychology, child development as well, which I've taught. You usually hear that when you talk about describing the quality of relationship between a caregiver and a child. But I think it applies here as well. You want a partner that has goodness of fit. We make sense. Don't have to make sense to other people. We make sense to each other. We work. We work. This we works. So define the purpose partner now. Identify one. What does a purpose partner look like? Talk to me. What does a purpose partner look like? Is it your type? Is it what? What is it? Come on, love doctor. Talk to me. He's terrible. I can't stand his name. The motherfucking love doctor. Only, oh my gosh. My young friends, y'all be y'all can take me there. Anyway, how do you identify one? Because you're like, okay, that sounds good, doc. I think I want one of those. Okay, so if you're gonna go shopping, here we go. First, for those of you who are taking notes, you got to know yourself. Before you can find a purpose partner, boo, you got to know yourself. Really know yourself. Like search deep within your heart and own the good, the bad, and the ugly about you. What makes you lovable? What makes you hard to love? Because everybody thinks that they are, springtime in Paris, and you're not. All of us have certain aspects of our personality that make us difficult to love. With the right person, and with you owning the parts of you that, what John Legend say, those edges that I love your edges and all of that. It helps to know what those edges are. And then acknowledge the ones that need some work. Because some of those are sabotaging behaviors. You know that you're a quick temper. So instead of just sitting there, well, God made me like this, I've been like this my whole life. Is that toxic? Is that working for you? So maybe you need to sit down and deal with that and say, you know what? I snap off at the drop of a hat. That's probably not going to work well in a relationship, purpose partner or not. So go sit down and deal with that. Get your life on a track. And at the same time, as you are acknowledging those things and you're working on them, find somebody who can balance that and be the yin to your yang. Let me go in the chat and I'm going to give you an example. Your purpose partner will not always be your type, but their behavior and state of mind will be very similar to yours. You must have been looking at my notes, love doctor. You're absolutely right. They may, and 9 out of 10, they're not going to be your type. They're probably going to be very different than the kind of person you've chosen before. But like you said, there's going to be certain ways that you will align, that you will interact, that's going to be very different and fit. And there's going to be a lot that's very similar to you. I would agree. Like I said, you've been in my notes. So for example, I'm a little over the top about a lot of things. I don't mind admitting it. Okay. And what do I mean by over the top? Like I'm very, I won't say emotional, but emotive. Meaning I get really loud and happy about stuff on TV or people telling me news. I may cry, I may scream, I may do almost anything, right? Because I'm really free with my emotions. So in a relationship, the type of person who works best for me is somebody who can balance that. So they're kind of cool, level-headed, So while I'm over here jumping up and down, they're like, wow, okay, babe, that's wonderful. And they may join me, but they're going to balance out my equilibrium. They're not going to go up in the ceiling with me, right? The same way as sometimes I tend to be somewhat pessimistic. So as happy go lucky as I am most of the time, and pretty positive, sometimes when things occur, especially unplanned events, I can sometimes go there first. Oh my God, can you believe this? And that negative Nelly comes out. So I know I need a partner who is primarily, again, nobody's 100%, but primarily an optimist to balance my pessimism. So I need somebody who's going to say, hey, let's take a look at it. This may not be so bad. Or, okay, I know that hurts, but here's what we can do. That's golden. That's golden. But I can't have a pessimist in my life because we probably both jump off a building. You can't help me to see the other side of it. So balance is super important. So if you're looking for your purpose partner, you first got to know yourself, your personality, your, like I said, your yin. You got to know who you are as an individual. And then you got to know your purpose. You got to know your purpose. Thanks, Boo. Absolutely. It's essential. You can't leave home without it. What were you made for? Why are you here on this planet? What is your purpose? How are you going to find your purpose partner if you don't even know your purpose? And do you know there's some people out here trying to do that? Well, maybe if I find my purpose partner, it'll help me discover my purpose. You backward. You backward. Hey, Felicia, good evening. Come on in here, girl. Pull up a seat. Share this link so somebody else can come in here and get this good teaching. But some people think, lazy. I'll find somebody who's on their grind, and then that'll help me find my way. You a freeloader. Stop it. Don't be backpacking on somebody who did all the hard work, and then you're going to ride their coattails to the top. Stop it. Give me your hand. We don't do that here. Get your own. Find your purpose. Get your life. Let me take it a step further. It goes beyond a career. How you make your money. Okay? Yeah, let me get comfortable so I can sit here for a minute and cross my legs. Men, like I was saying earlier, have always kind of chosen partners this way. Okay? At least knowing that, okay, this is my career path and I'm secure, in my employment. So now I'm able to partner up now that I've got myself together. Okay? But knowing your purpose takes it a step further. Think about how many people who've gone to their grave with untapped potential, left all their talent on the table. It's sad. This generation, and I would venture to say probably more of the world since the pandemic and we were all quarantined, took another look at our lives and said, wow, I really have given up the quest for personal fulfillment just for the sake of procuring creature comforts. Meaning I sold my soul to the devil just so I could have this pretty house and this pretty car. But it's not necessarily anything that brings me joy. I literally, this is many people before the pandemic, I'm getting up every day, I'm going to work, I'm coming home just long enough to sleep to go back and do it again. So they're living to work instead of working to live. And so being locked up on quarantine, a lot of people figured out while they were sitting still, time on my hands. They figured out, oh my gosh, I didn't even know I could be creative like this. They found their creativity, started finding outlets that they never even knew they were interested in, things they had a knack for. Some other people like myself just expanded on those talents and found a way to monetize them. Some things that we just let fall to the wayside when you started adulting and raising kids and saying, wow, I got to take care of the home front. So adulting took precedence. But once they realize what they're created for, once you realize, why am I here for real? outside of my relationships, outside of my titles, then you can pursue it. And not until then do you need to be inviting somebody to join your life. What are they joining? Why you need to have two lost souls rolling around? That's crazy. So once you get your life on track, then you can find your purpose partner. The pandemic taught us a lot about who we were, who we weren't, who we were with, who we should be with. The list goes on and the list goes on. But you got to know your purpose. Now, your purpose, again, and I'm going to talk about it in a minute. We're making good time. Your purpose is not necessarily directly related to your career. Hear me again. Your purpose is not necessarily directly related to your career. So a lot of times when people are looking purpose partners, what's your purpose, the purpose-driven life, they think about what kind of job do I need to be doing? What kind of work do I need to be doing? Purpose, when I'm talking about purpose, is how you show up in the world. What do you bring into any space you enter that nobody else can? So that's what I'm saying. Podcasts all over creation, but God has given me something special to do on this Friday night with you. I'm not the only person doing it, but I'm the only person doing it the way I'm doing it. Okay, so my cult following, I got my groups. Did I tell you all? Look, do you know, I found out last week, and this is a station identification break, and then I'm going to tell you how you're going to know your purpose partner when you meet them. Do you know somebody told me last week that they actually watched the podcast as part of their date night? How cool is that? I was like, I had no idea that I was actually entertaining folks as they're booed up. They actually played Dr. Kim, and I'm on the screen. So, hey, y'all, I hope date night is going well. So they actually watched Dr. Kim for date night. I thought that was really cool. Okay, so pass it on. Get your boo. Told you, we're doing Stella Rosa Black tonight. Get your glass. Get your glass. So watch. How will you know them? How will you know your purpose partner when you're meeting people? How will you narrow it down and say, ooh, I think this is my person? First, you're going to know that this purpose partner can be considered because they'll be engaged in their purpose. Boom. They'll be doing what it is they're wired to do. If they're at the beginning of their journey, and you might meet some people, again, and this goes across age groups, you might meet some people who are 40, 50, and they're just really finding out why they're here. Why they're here. Okay. My deal is to look at what they're doing. So if they're just talking about it, keep it moving. I know, right? I thought that was cool too. I was like, wow. I felt so honored and privileged. It made me want to step up my game too. I was like, if people watching you on a Friday night while they boot up, let me make it good. But you should see some traction. Hey, Brother Ben, we got Virginia in the house. All right, we got Virginia in here. We got Wisconsin. Told you all we're gonna go global. We're gonna go global. Keep hanging out with your girl. So if you meet somebody and they're not already in their purpose, you should see some traction that they're moving towards making their dream happen. There should be a plan. There should be I'm enrolled in this to learn this skill because I'm going to be that. I listen to this because I'm preparing myself to do this. I'm reading this because I'm preparing myself to do that. So if they're not already walking in it all the time, they should be preparing for it, and there should be evidence of that. So don't get fooled about this purpose partner thing because somebody says they know their purpose. What did I say at the beginning? For those of you who are just coming in, that people know the vernacular, people know the things to say to attract you. You got to look at the fruit to know if that's somebody worth investing some time and attention with. So number one, you'll know that this person is a possible purpose partner because they'll be engaged in their purpose. Boom. Some people need someone to believe in it. Absolutely. I think we all do. I think that's maybe not a basic or a primary human need, but it's definitely high on the list. Affirmation. That's how you build trust. Even if you think about small children, how do they bond with their parents? Trust. The parents verbalizing to them how special and wonderful they are, that they are loved. And as children receive that, they bloom and blossom and turn into wonderful people. And children who don't get that don't develop in that way. So they're going to be engaged in their purpose. Number two, and Daniel was saying this, I'm sorry, motherfucking love doctor. He said this a moment ago. They're going to be drawn to you and interested in your life goals. Why? Because your goals are probably going to overlap or intersect in some kind of way. Especially if you're in spaces and places on your grind, you're going to start running into people who are like-minded and have similar goals. Okay, so if I'm in relationship groups, 9 out of 10, I'm probably going to meet somebody who deals in relationships. And I did. That's how that happened, right? So if they're not doing the same thing as you, it's probably going to be related. So again, like I've seen some folks who maybe she's a singer, he's a musician, or vice versa. Okay. He's a personal trainer, she's a nutritionist. So they might not be doing the same things, but there probably is some intersectionality in their interests and their passions. And you're going to meet these people if you're doing what it is you're supposed to do. Okay? You're gonna find these people. You're gonna find each other. And you notice the word I use, drawn to. You're going to be attracted to this person because what? You're going to recognize some of yourself in them. Look at that. Like-minded individuals. Okay. So they're going to be engaged in their purpose. They're going to be drawn to you and interested in your life goals because there's what? There's some compatibility there. Compatibility of interest, compatibility of purpose. Number 3, they'll make you want to up your game. And that's kind of what Ben was just saying about some people needing someone to believe in them. When you meet your purpose partner, they're going to want to make you be your best self all the way around, but definitely through walking in your purpose. And not to compete with them, because I've seen power couples do that. I've seen that with power couples. It's like he's on his grind, she's on her grind, and then when he makes a step up, she's got to make a step up. But it's not so we can get better. It's because I want to show you that, guess what? You should be glad to be with me. Look at what I'm bringing to the table. Baby, just make a table. Let's just make a table. Can we just do that? And then can we fill the table? Do we have to keep an inventory of who put the legs on, who polished it? Let's just make the table. Okay. My pastor tells all of us how much he loves his wife. When his spirit is down, her spirit picks up and takes over. Absolutely. And especially, again, purpose partner, you're going to be not just aligned, because alignment is external. This isn't even in my notes. You all better write this down. It's a tweet from heaven. So not only are your purpose partner, not only are you going to be aligned, but you're going to be in tune. And that's where you get to the spirit. That's internal. That's emotional. Can't be measured. You're going to be aligned to the point that you're in tune. You will feel your purpose partners having an off day. You will feel when their traction is slipping. Or he needs a little support there. She needs a little encouragement there. they need a little nudge to get back on their grind. They're losing faith and hope in themselves. You'll feel it if you're in tune with them. And with a purpose partner, you're more likely to be in tune with them. So you see how this purpose partner thing is trumping the power couple, and it's even trumping the soulmate because it's all inclusive. It's like going on all inclusive vacation. So not only do we have the spirit piece where we're aligned, we're in tune, right? We're yin and yanging over here, but we got that power piece. Because we can elevate, we can go to that next level because we've got that person, that teammate, right? And we're moving in the same direction. Let me go into this chat. You all are talking to me now. I love it. Let me see what you're saying. Yep. Wow. I love your viewpoint about the table. Thanks, boo. And that wasn't even in my notes either. I'm telling you. I don't know if it's the wine, it's the Lord, it's all working together. Okay. So that'll make you want to up your game. And they also will make you want to up your game because of how their energy makes you feel about yourself. Because Boo said, baby, you really did that. You want to do more of that. Okay. Motivation, right? And then as time goes on and you get more knitted together, maybe you're moving deeper into the relationship, you're going to want to do better because now you're representing the team. You're representing the team. Like, man, I gotta stay on my grind because me and babe, we're showing up like this. I don't want to be the weak link in the chain. I want somebody to say they are handling the business. They are doing it. We need to show up. I don't want him out there doing everything and I'm doing nothing and vice versa. The other piece about them making you want to up your game is because now you're building, right? So again, if we're going somewhere together and I've got my role to play in the success of not only our relationship, but fulfilling our purpose, then I got to show up even when I'm tired, even when I don't feel like it, and even when I don't see it. Now, you all know, those of you who are in my group, Loving Life According to Dr. Kim in Facebook land, I'm doing a book talk on June 3rd with DeVale Ellis and Kadeen Ellis's new book, We Before Me. We Before Me. And one of the things they talked about in their book, at several points in their marriage where things seem hopeless. Like, we've got this plan, and we've talked about what we want to do, and we've began to put this plan in motion, but then there's some obstacles that come up. There's some challenges that come up. And by yourself, you might say, you know what? I ain't gonna be able to do this. But because you have your purpose partner, and now here we are, we're looking face to face. We said we were gonna do this. We're going to do this. We're going to stick to this plan. You got somebody in the trenches with you. You're not doing. You see what just happened? The internet didn't like what I was saying. I guess. Oh my God. I can't stand it here. Let me finish before they cut me off again. You see, I was on a roll and yeah, We Before Me. It's a good one. And so they talked about that in that moment, they were able to stand toe to toe, face to face. No, we said we were doing this and we're going to make this happen. We're going to knock down, something else off of our things to do list, off of our plan. And they've made it happen. They talked about times they were hungry. Times they were staying one bedroom apartment, times where they were staying with relatives. You know, she talked about at one point in the marriage where he wasn't working. He was auditioning and that kind of thing. He was working, but he didn't have steady employment. And she was working at the mall doing makeup. And she talked about breaking down at one point because it was the holiday. And you know, if you work in retail, the holiday, that's prime time. And so they weren't able to be together for the holiday. And she was kind of down about that. And because of that, he said, you know what? Yeah, no, I'm unfrozen now. And so because of that, that motivated him. He was like, that took something out of him to see that girl down. And she was holding him down. But he was like, okay. So not only am I going to pray about this, God, I need you to open the door, because my wife going out here on this holiday and us not able to be a family just really broke him down. So he prayed and then he activated some other things. And he was like, just give me 30 days and you will never have to work another holiday. And that's what happened. 30 days, he ended up getting a check or something. He was able to join SAG and really get into some better roles and get paid and all of that. And the rest is history. But having that person, having your purpose partner, part of that is, like I said, they want you to be better. I'm frozen now. This is this is frustrating. Okay, so how will you know your purpose partner? They'll be engaged in their purpose. They'll be drawn to you and interested in your life goals. They will make you want to up your game. Iron sharpens iron. And guess what? They're going to be clear about what they want and what they need, because they've already sat and developed their plan. They've thought about their life. They've gotten to know themselves. It's like, okay, this is what I'm meant to do. And this is the skill set I bring to the table to get it done. And this is how I operate. So they're able to say to that person, hey, you know what? I want a partner. This is how I need my partner to engage with. So like, when I'm with you, I'm with you. I need that together time. I need that us time. I need quality time. But I also need space to go be in my creative. I also need space to handle business. I also need space because maybe I travel doing what it is that I do. But this is how I want to interact, or I need somebody who understands the flow of how I do what I do. Only a person who has a plan, who knows their purpose, can operate and communicate that to you. They can articulate that because they've done the work. They're actually operating in purpose, on purpose. So they're not going to engage in a relationship that's going to take them out of purpose. So they're really clear from jump what they need, how they function. And they're sometimes the hardest people to start a relationship or get into a relationship with, because they're so focused on their purpose or their craft. But I believe time makes a way, or provides a way to make it clear that somebody is either going to add to your life, okay, or they're going to trip you up and make you stagnant. So if you're on the path of purpose and you see or you come across somebody who's headed in the same direction, who knows where they're headed, then it's a little bit easier to decide, come on, we can run together, right? You're not going to try to cut me off. You're not going to try to snatch me off of it. And I was talking to somebody about this the other day. Oh my gosh, and I hate when this happens. Again, I talked about it a little bit earlier, where people lie. People lie. This person is telling you, this is what I'm doing, this is where I'm going. And for example, maybe somebody who travels a lot, and you're a homebody. And that's going to bug you, but you want this person so bad. So you say, okay, babe, well, oh, that's wonderful. That's exciting. and know you have no intention of getting on one plane going anywhere. Terrible. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. So be honest. Be honest, but they're clear about what they want. They're not going to be aimless. They're not going to waste time because they don't have time to waste. They know their purpose. They know what they're doing. Even if their life goal is to be a beach bum or a porch bum, if that's their life goal, if that's what they believe their purpose is, I'm just here to kind of be. Maybe I'm the person who's the go-to person in the family. Maybe that's their purpose. So sometimes the purpose, again, is not billboard worthy. It's not something that the world is going to see. Okay. So again, I don't want us to get mixed up between power couples and, and purpose partners. Sometimes your purpose is maybe to be that family that grounds everybody else around you. So if you know your purpose, if you know, hey, we're that family at the church or on the block that everybody knows they can come and get a chicken wing and be okay, you need to find somebody who believes in that too. But you don't find somebody who says, I'm gonna go out here and, I'm gonna try to break into the movies and all of that. And you know that your biggest passion is to be a little league coach on a Saturday. At some point, there's going to be a wedge between you. Again, not saying that you have to do the same thing, but there should be some alignment. And that's going to be difficult. That's going to be difficult if the purposes are like I said, not parallel. So last, alignment. You'll feel what's not last. Alignment. You'll feel it. How will you know you've met your purpose partner? They're engaged in their purpose. They're going to be drawn to you and interested in your life goals. They're going to make you want to up your game. They're going to be clear about what they want and what they need because they have a plan. And then alignment, you're going to feel it. There's going to be an ease of presence. You won't have to mold yourself to fit their life. Some negotiating, yes, of course. Anytime you bring two humans together, there's going to be some negotiation. Compromise, absolutely, there's going to be some of that. But you won't have to do a total makeover where you won't even recognize yourself to be a part of that person's life. You're going to bounce off of one another. You're going to balance each other. There's that word balance again. Even the Bible talks about that. And I know you all didn't come for Bible study tonight, but the Bible tells us, can two walk together if they don't agree? Alignment. I can't be pulling to the left and you're pulling to the right and think we're going to get into the same place. It's not going to work. So think about that choo-choo train. So again, we're moving in the same direction. We're thinking about things the same way. I talked about it last week. Life goals, your values, just how do you view the world around you? That's the last one. Similar values. Do you desire and seek the same kind of life? Do you want a safe and secure life? That's what your purpose looks like. You need to find a purpose partner who's looking to live out their life like that. Is it adventurous and creative? Is it quiet, just kind of chill, laid back, free kind of life? Is it corporate minded? We're always on the go. We're jet setting. Is it entrepreneurial? Do we both believe that we should only work for ourselves and we're not any longer going to just give away our talent, right? Based on a 40-hour week? Are you family oriented? World traveler? What is it? I think about my parents a lot, and you all know I talk about them a lot. Hello, if they happen to see this podcast. And again, trying to get your notion away from power couples, purpose partners. So just like I described, they knew their purpose, even as young people, was to establish a strong family unit. That's part of their purpose. So a lot of people look at them, well, where have you traveled? They're not travelers. They're not travelers. They're not jet setters. Their happiest times is to be in their yard, taking care of their yard. Because why? because family is important. So they want their house to always be that safe haven. And when they say family, they mean extended family. That's godchildren and all their adopted grandchildren and everything else. And that's their purpose. That's kind of the role that they have in so many people's lives. So again, it doesn't have to be necessarily, has nothing to do with their careers. Neither one of their careers reflects that. But them coming together as a couple, they knew that was important for them. Family is what we do. And everything that we do is going to be either to the benefit or the detriment of our family. So we choose to do the right thing. So our family and those who come in contact with us are intact. Doesn't that sound like a mission or a vision statement for a business? And whenever somebody comes here, right, our guests, like you notice all of the retail establishments now, they don't call people customers, they call you guests because they want you to feel a certain kind of way when you come into their place of business. We should want people to feel a certain way when they come near our relationships, right? So what do we stand for? Even as a couple, as a separate entity, what does the us represent? So important. So we know the benefits of this is you're going to have motivation, you're going to have support, you're going to have less conflict because again, we worked out some of the kinks because we're trying to get to the same place. And we probably have some similar ways of getting there. Okay. You have a team. I told you that's one of my goals. I want a we. If it's not a we, I don't want it. And by that, I mean not a us. A us means it's some folks over here together. But a we're so knitted and intertwined that anything that comes in front of us, right, we have to deal with. So whether that's an invitation, oh, babe, we just got an invitation, so-and-so's having a party. Oh, the question I want is, oh, what time do we need to be there? What do we need to wear? Not, I don't do no parties. I ain't going to no parties. You can go by yourself. Not in alignment. So I need that we. Or when something happens to him or something happens to me, they're immediately, what are we going to do? I don't have to deal with that by myself. That's purpose. That's purpose. Because if you're not good, I'm not good. So we have to be good. I'm going to feel that. It impacts me because we're a partner. We're a we. So how do you get one? And then we're just about done. How do you get one? You got to know your purpose. You got to be walking in your purpose. Why? A lot of reasons for that. Number one, because you don't have time to waste. If you're here and you have breath in your body, you should be doing what it is you're here to do. Number two, that's doubly attractive if you're doing what it is you're supposed to do. You're walking in your purpose. And you're not constantly looking around and to see what everybody else is doing. That's attractive. I know for me, I see a man on his grind. He's doing his stuff. It's like, wow, look at him. He's smart. He's brilliant. Wow. I need to know more about him. Somebody just sitting there holding a beer, dude, what's up? Even sitting in a bar, and I'm sure you all have had this happen. You sit in a bar, you see 5 men sitting at the bar, and there'll be one man that's holding court. And he's teaching the others. He has strong opinions about things. He knows his purpose. He knows that he's been given wisdom. He knows that his life experience is worth sharing with others. So even though he's in a bar, he's showing up as a leader, as a star, even in an environment like that. So that to me, that's somebody walking in their purpose. That's attractive. You're attractive if you're walking in your purpose. And you're also what? Gonna probably more likely meet a purpose partner if you're doing what it is you're supposed to be doing. Position yourself to meet like-minded people. Position yourself, get yourself together. I know some people who will not date. You all talk to me. You all got quiet in the chat. Come on and talk to me. There's some people who refuse to date because they're just like, wow, they're not confident. They've been burned. They've been hurt. Afraid to go back out there. They're not so sure of themselves because maybe they haven't been successful in their purpose yet. So they're like, oh no, I can't go around the heavy hitters because I'm not there. Iron sharpens iron. Get around some folks who are who are I call them the aspirant group. Get around people who are who are where you're trying to get. That can be an inspiration. It can also be motivation as well as support and propelling you in the right direction. So don't be scared. Get around some like-minded people. So not only is that going to help you progress and motivate you to do better, but you may just end up what? Meeting your purpose partner. Prepare the space. Prepare the space. And I remember Mother Braswell telling me this, God rest her soul. That was one of my church mothers. And she would talk to me. She said, Daughter, I can't believe you're still single. You're such a beautiful girl. You're so smart. You're just so talented. I'm like, thank you, Mother. And she said, I just don't understand why you're still single. I said, Mother, I don't either. And she said, well, daughter, let me ask you a question. And when she said that, you already know something really deep is about to follow. So she's like, daughter, let me ask you a question. I said, okay, Mother Braswell, what's your question? And she said, have you made room for a man to come into your life? Ma'am? She said, have you made room? Like, I could imagine somebody meeting you and there's no space. She said, I'm going to give you an example. I'm like, okay. She said, when you went to get your car, she was talking about Nefertiti. She said, when you were going to get your car, she said, did you make any preparation to go get the car? I said, well, I saved some money. She said, no. She said, I'm thinking at the house. Where are you going to put the car after you bought it? I said, well, I keep my car in the garage. She said, did you clear out a space or did you keep the old car you had? Now I'm starting to get it. So I got rid of that car. She said, yeah, you had to. You had to make some space to receive the new car. I said, yes, ma'am. She said, it's no different than a relationship. You got to make room for that person to be able to come into your life. Y'all gonna get it in the morning. You got to prepare the space. Sometimes we're so used to walking singularly, there's no room, and people know that. There is no room. Now, I'm not saying you should walk around like you seen those memes. It's like, oh, me and babe, you got your arm around an imaginary person. But people can feel, can you vibe? Is there any room for somebody to walk alongside you? I'm good. You can't receive love. You're tied up. You can't give love. Make some space. Make space in your heart. Make some physical space in your environment. So again, single people, we talk about those beds, and I was guilty of that for a long time, where I had everything you could imagine on the other side of the bed. Books, snacks, remotes, phone, tablets, everything. I was like, you gotta stop doing that. Filling in spaces. Prepare the space, open it up. Something else I'm doing, don't laugh. Something else I'm doing, and I haven't been successful yet, but I have a double sink in my bathroom. So I'm like, okay, God, I've asked for this partner. What happens if I have to share this space? So I've been trying to force myself to use one sink and not use both sinks, because I want my husband to be able to use one of those sinks. So it's not going well. I'll let you all know next week if I'm getting any better, but I'm trying to make space. I'm trying to make space in my heart and in my physical environment that there is room for somebody to share life with me. And then the last one, how do you get a purpose partner? Be the partner that you want to pair up with. You have to be able to provide what you require. So if you want somebody to cheer you on, be a cheerleader. You want somebody to motivate you, be a motivator. You want somebody who's on their square, be on your square. You want somebody to be able to take care of you, be prepared to take care of somebody else. Be prepared to give what you require. Be the partner that you want to be. And that's how you attract the person that you need, the purpose partner that you need. They will see themselves in you. They will see the needs. Wow, she's that. Maybe in places where I'm not great. I need her in my life. Wow, He is amazing in this area. And that's something I've always kind of struggled with. Wow, if we partnered together, I could show him this and he could show me that. It was a man, who was that, Christian Keys? And y'all know, oh my God, that Christian Keys is fine for real. He's right up there with Terrence Howard for me. And everybody knows how I feel about Terrence Howard. Terrence Howard could still have it all. Howard Hewitt, he could still. Woo! Christian Keys is right there. That's, yeah. Anyway, he was on Laterras Whitfield's podcast the other day, and he was talking about how sexy that is when a woman teaches him something that he didn't know. He's like, when a woman that I'm attracted to is able to bring me some information that I wasn't aware of, or maybe something I knew but didn't really know all the nuances of it, he was like, that's sexy. She's given something that he needs. But if you're not willing to give, how will that person even know what you have and what you're bringing to the table? Oh, I hate that expression. It's so overdone. So anyway, that's all I have for you tonight. Having a purpose partner, it is beneficial. Got to know your purpose. Once you find that person, there's nothing that you can't do. The sky is the limit. The sky is the limit. You can be a formidable force in the universe when you partner up with your purpose partner. But you got to be what? On your square. Know your purpose, know your strengths, know your weaknesses, so you can begin to work on them and become the partner that you're seeking. If you're already in a relationship, right? How can we make this better? By being your whole self, right? Being your whole self, bringing that and saying, how can I support my partner so we can move forward together? Because people are always changing. And you're going to hear that the next, the series that I'm doing for the month of May, it's all about marriages. And so I got 4 couples that you're going to be meeting, going to love their stories. And so when you're talking about people who have been together 30 years, you're not the same person you were when you met. So being able to pivot and change and move and continue that alignment is going to be so important. Thank you. Thanks, Felicia. Thanks for coming in tonight. Okay, so marriage, we're going to be talking about that. How do you rock? How do you roll after so many years? Okay, so that's going to be the month of May. We're going to be doing that. Next week, I will not be with you because I will be celebrating my youngest daughter's graduation. She's graduating from college. So shout out to Lindsay in the VA. Bless her heart. I'll see you in a few days, baby. So we could celebrate her getting her bachelor's in sociology. And she'll be moving on to her master's degree and in law school. And she's going to take over the world. So I will not be with you next Friday, but we'll be back on the 12th with my guest, Kim Millsap. We're going to be talking about all kinds of girl stuff that women do, sabotage relationships. I know it's going to be a big confessional, but it's going to be a good one. That's May 12th. In the meantime, please subscribe to this YouTube channel, Dr. Kim, the Relationship Renovator, where we're here every Friday night. I am starting a series, 60 Days to Mastering Love. So you're going to start seeing some shorts. We call them on YouTube, shorts on YouTube and Instagram. We're going to be running this podcast on Apple Podcasts. So you'll be able to listen in the car. So look forward to that. And then, of course, you can find me on Facebook, The Complete Suite LLC. If you want to book an appointment for some life coaching or some relationship coaching, all the things you hear me talking about on here, we can talk about one-on-one. Make sure we do what? Get the love you want and keep the love that you need. That's what we're all about. You want to drop that Cash App, you want to drop a tip, $ Dr. Kim G. We always appreciate those tips. Now, if you're going to come eat, you don't go to a restaurant and not tip the people. So same thing here. If you got any nugget tonight, feel free to just bless Dr. Kim. We sure appreciate you. But if not, I'm just glad you were hanging out with me tonight. It's good to see you. Good to see you in the chat. Good to see you out there in Facebook land and Instagram land and anywhere else that this podcast lands. I appreciate you and I enjoyed it. Go find your purpose partner. And on that note, let me say good night to my unicorn angel. All right. And you all have a blessed night. See you. Love you to life. Good night.